Thought last week was fairly productive. I'm Michael with WriterSanctuary, and today I want to try something a little bit different and see how well it plays out. Today I'm going to address comments and questions from my viewers. I figure that some of the other people who watch these videos probably have similar questions who haven't seen the past content. I've grabbed 10 previous comments from viewers, and I'm going to try to answer them without using a script. Hopefully I can do that without confusing anyone. So let's get into it. Virginia Sellers asks, is it necessary when starting out on TextBrooker to have sample articles? I would say yes. As soon as you're able to write on TextBrooker in any capacity, make sure your samples are filled out. And even if you haven't done one order yet, it still looks good when someone's searching for someone to write their content that you're able to provide a sample of your work. Just make sure that you change it up every 6 months, because as you continue to write, your skills will advance and you want to put out the best content you can. Next up, I have a name that I cannot pronounce. I am so sorry, but I don't have any clue where to begin with that. If I bought a hosting domain on WordPress to write about health, and I did for 3 months, but then I changed my mind to start writing about something else, will the blog trust be reset and disappear? When you build a new blog, probably not going to be all that bad of a deal if you decide to change your mind. But just know that if you start a blog and you begin writing about it, and then you decide to change up the niche after a few months, that you'll probably lose a lot of the subscribers and people who bookmark your website. And if you use push notifications, you'll find that you'll probably lose a few of those subscribers as well. I would say to find something that you're passionate about and build a blog based around it, and try not to veer off course. I'm not saying that a multi-industry blog can't succeed, but if you zero in on a specific niche, you'll have a much better chance of making money and getting traffic. Magdalena Helen says, some days we have more creative, productive days, and sometimes we don't, but it's good that you were at least productive in other ways with things that needed to be done anyway. That was in response to my other video about being productive, but not in the way that I wanted to be. And she's right. I wasn't as creative as I wanted to be, but I did wind up putting so much more time into YouTube videos, blogs, and my client especially, so I still think it is a win. I just wish I had more time to be creative and get something published. Mom's already working on her second book, and I haven't even pushed out one yet. Superior Senior writes, do I subscribe to Grammarly? Now, when I first started freelance writing, I learned everything the hard way. I buried my face in research in Google for months on end. I wrote everything down in a notebook. I really didn't start using Grammarly until a few days ago when I decided to take a look at it for one of my videos. And I kind of like the way that it interacts with WordPress on the text editing field, so that between WordPress, Yoast SEO, and Grammarly, it's kind of a good system there. I might pay for the year subscription just to see just how far Grammarly can go. Aside from that, I spent 7 years without Grammarly, and I've developed quite a bit of success from it. But I do see how it could impact a new freelance writer especially. It'll point out a lot of the problems that many people have, and it catches stuff that my team misses all the time, so I'm kind of thankful for that. And if Grammarly is looking for a sponsor, you know where I'm at. Catherine writes, I like constant content, but they are not your typical content mill. Submitting orders to their catalog is kind of like eBay of freelancing. And I love this comment because she's right. With constant content, what you do is you create a piece, any piece you want, and you upload it to their system. Then they edit it and ask for revisions if they need it. And it'll sit up there until a client comes across and says, hey, I want to write that. And then they get a short snippet of it to see what it's like, and then they can go ahead and pay you for it. Now, with constant content, you can make quite a bit more money than you could with something like TextBrooker. The problem with that, though, is that you have to write something that clients are going to want to read. If you write about anything that's like unpopular, there's a good chance you're not going to get picked up. Still, there's a lot of people that have made quite a bit of money on constant content. In fact, I'm thinking about writing a couple more and uploading it to the system just for the hell of it. If anything, it'll give you practice. Hemonkbom writes, great video. I wish the TextBrooker would integrate with WordPress. I can't agree with you more. I would love if we could install a plugin on WordPress and then port it over to TextBrooker, or even if TextBrooker had a WordPress platform. One of the biggest reasons why I like WordPress so much for writing content for clients is that with all the plugins that you can install, you can create one hell of a system that will do just about anything you could possibly want. This is especially true if you want to include imagery, which I think TextBrooker might want to consider, but I can see why they don't. You got way too many people out there who are plagiarizing images, let alone text. So I can see why they kind of step away from that, not to mention the fact that doing images would increase the amount of space that your database would need to have exponentially. Like right now I have WordPress, Yoast SEO, and Grammarly running, and I also added Tiny MCE Advanced to WordPress. What that does is it turns the editing system into a full-blown word processor. So if I wanted to download or print out any of the things I write on my blog, I can. But if we had formatting options to text broker, that would be great. At least more formatting options that are available. Like right now you can bold, italicize, underline, and the way that they do the bullet points is incredibly wonky. That's why I rather type everything hard code myself. So Mama Lun writes, can you show a tutorial on how to set up WordPress thing? I'm not sure how to even get one of those WordPress sites. Is it wordpress.com or wordpress.org? Now when I create content, I use the wordpress.org platform. Essentially, it's you download the software from wordpress.org and install it on your web server. The web server I have, I can install it automatically, so I don't have to go through wordpress.org. It's already there as part of the system. Now wordpress.com though is quite limited. It's the free platform. It works great if you're trying to start a new blog, but you're limited in what you can add and what you can modify. And since I pay for my web hosting anyway, so I can run WriterSanctuary, Crossing Colorado, and Colorado Plays, I figured why not? Just keep going with what I got. The thing is that all three of those blogs though pay me enough per year, so they offset the cost of the domain, the SSL certificates, and the domain names. In reality, I pay closer to about $160, $180 a year, but the AdSense revenue that comes in from those three blogs is about $400 or $500. So they pay for their own web hosting. But if you don't have that, WordPress.com is a good system. You're just quite limited in what you can do. And if you're still interested in seeing a tutorial on all the things I installed on my WordPress, I can break down the video quite a bit more, and so I can show you exactly what plugins to use and what I use. For the longest time I had a thesaurus plugin that was outdated, but it still worked. I long got rid of that one, but there's quite a bit of fun you can have with WordPress, even if you're not planning on pushing out your own blog. So, Paul Irving writes, hey Michael, great trailer video. I just finally heard back from TextBroker today and they accepted my application. They gave me 3 stars, so I need to study up more on AP style and practice more. But at least I got accepted. Thanks for the help you offered, both through your videos and personally. It's been much appreciated. I love the work you do and I hope all is going well for you. P.S. I'm going to look you up on Facebook as well. Cheers. Thank you, Paul Irvin. It's people like that that drive me to keep creating these videos. I know I'm not like massive, huge YouTuber. I don't have thousands of subscribers, but it's people like Paul here where they thank me for the help, or if I can help anybody, that's all the reason I need to keep making videos. So thank you very much, Paul, and I hope that you keep watching. Mama Lan again writes, thank you. I am waiting to know if I can make $1,000 a month as a level 3 writer on TextBroker. How many hours per day would it be? Now, $1,000 on TextBroker a month isn't all that difficult to achieve as long as there's work available. So for me to make $1,000 a month on TextBroker, I would have to write just under 17 hours a week. And there's plenty of times where I did that quite easily. But that was also making $15 an hour. Everybody's going to have a different experience, so what worked for me may not work for you as well. I'm fast and have a quick turnaround rate, which means I can keep working throughout the day and produce more work. It takes a lot of effort for $15 an hour, but it's possible. I know I was able to do it. And that was without knowing anything about AP style writing. It took me a long time to get through all that. But once you start getting everything packed and start getting some practice under your belt, you'll find that you're able to do a lot more, a lot faster. So think of it like a snowball rolling down the hill. It's going to get momentum and get bigger and better. Ellie Sin writes, I have been watching videos on YouTube for some help on what it is they want because I had a feeling what I had written wasn't what they were looking for. This video was by far the most helpful I've seen yet. Thanks for mentioning AP style and SEO. I'm familiar with AP, but not SEO. Good to know. Now, you don't have to jump into search engine optimization when you write content for clients on TextBroker. It just vastly improves your chances of getting more work. A lot of the clients that I put SEO effort into kept coming back for more with direct orders. And direct orders is where you make a lot more money because you can charge pretty much anything you want. And since most clients on TextBroker are looking for content that they can post on their website, the less work they have to put into SEO, the better. And if you can prove that you know your stuff around search engine optimization, they're going to keep sending you work. There was a few clients that kept sending me daily work as direct orders, and I was charging a couple of them quite a bit because it was worth my time. But since I demonstrated that I knew my stuff around SEO and AP style writing, they kept sending me work for like 6-7 months at a time. So even though you don't necessarily need SEO, I would advise learning as much as you can about it, at least from the writing perspective. We're not going to do the SEO for like image alt attributes and meta descriptions and stuff like that. You just want to focus on the SEO part of writing content, which is why I love WordPress and Yoast SEO, because Yoast SEO will break all that down in the readability and its SEO portion. I learned most of that just by doing Google searches. If you have something that you want to know about, leave it in the comment of this video or any of the other videos that I produce. I'll try to answer as best I can and as often as I can. So do you like the commenter segment, and is it something that you can get behind? Leave in the comments down below. I can also be reached on Twitter and Facebook. I am debating on starting a Pinterest account for WriterSanctuary, but I'm not quite sure yet. So this last week was more productive than the one before it. Unfortunately, I still haven't been able to put any time in my creative projects. On the upside, my client has seen a 10% increase in their web traffic since I took over. And when your numbers are ranging in the hundreds of thousands, 10% is nothing to scoff at. I still think we can do better though. Now, if I only put in the same amount of effort into my own stuff as I do my client, I'd be making quite a bit of money. I've been so caught up in my client stuff and my YouTube videos that I really kind of neglected all my blogs. I have to find a way to balance everything. I have more than enough time in the day, I just need to figure out a good way to balance it all and stick to my daily routines. And since I don't have the girls this weekend, I'm going to try to put as much effort as I can into the blogs to get them going again. So let's see if this next week can be more productive than its predecessor. How do you keep motivated throughout the week? Maybe I can adapt your strategies and keep myself motivated. Now, in my last video, I dove a little bit into Grammarly and whether it's worth the money as a freelance writer. Over the last few days, I've been using it in conjunction with WordPress and Yoast SEO. I tell you what, I'm really liking how all three of them work together. Of course, you need Google Chrome for the extension, which I religiously use anyway. I'm debating on using my next payout from Google AdSense to pay for a year of Grammarly. I spent the last payout paying for the pro version of vidIQ for the entire year. And I still think that it was quite the positive investment for my YouTube channel. And I'm all about the data, and I love the different things that vidIQ dives into. But anyway, have you used Grammarly yet? And if so, do you find it good enough to pay for the year in advance? So I think that's going to wrap it up for now. Looking forward to having a more successful week. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to learn more about text broker, freelance writing, or any of the other topics I cover, hit the subscribe button. I think that's going to do it for me today. Have a good weekend. I'll see you next week.